You want to see a Pedro Pascal movie? You want to see a Pedro Pascal movie? Or do you want to see a Pedro Pascal movie? Which Pedro Pascal movie do you want to see? A string of blockbusters, millions of fans, and thousands of accolades. Pedro Pascal is riding high at the pinnacle of Hollywood fame, starring in globally celebrated multi-million-dollar hits like Materialists, Eddington, The Fantastic Four, and The Mandalorian. From an overlooked name in Hollywood, Pedro Pascal has undergone a stunning transformation, rising to become a screen king in less than a decade. Adored by fans as the nation's dad, praised endlessly by critics, and a star player coveted by every A-list director. But daddy is a state of mind. You know what I'm saying? I'm your daddy. The aura of self-made success was a facade. The wealth tied to a father with a controversial legal past, and the Ignite empire, nothing more than an empty shell. What led this so-called poker genius from the pinnacle of fame to the depths of truth? To uncover the answer, join us now as we embark on a journey to lift the curtain on the story of an insecure trust fund kid who tried to build a fabricated kingdom only to end up as the subject of widespread ridicule alone. Or does it rest on hidden pieces the public has yet to see? To uncover the answer, join us now on a journey to peel back the glittering mask of Pedro Pascal, diving deep into the truth behind the stage lights where talent, power, and untold secrets collide. Pedro Pascal is more than just a star. He's a cultural phenomenon, a name that dominates every corner of modern media. Turn on the TV, and he's there in The Mandalorian. Scroll through X, and you'll catch his charming smile and interview clips. Open your phone, and Pascal's image floods everything from glowing articles to viral memes. This relentless presence is a testament to his remarkable transformation from a forgotten supporting actor in Hollywood to a screen king celebrated worldwide. Yet, the dazzling fame Pedro Pascal has so swiftly attained acts as a powerful mirror, inadvertently exposing shadows that the public can't ignore. The questions surrounding Pedro Pascal didn't erupt overnight. They began as whispers on social media, fleeting comments on X about his interactions with female colleagues at public events, a touch on the shoulder, a lingering handshake, that gradually became focal points of attention. From the beloved nation's dad persona, Pascal suddenly found himself under a lens of scrutiny where every gesture is dissected and every glance from those around him becomes a clue. In an era where the public is no longer just a passive audience, social media platforms have swiftly transformed into arenas where questions about Pascal are dissected without mercy. Users with remarkable keenness have turned themselves into investigators, scrutinizing every gesture and expression in shared video clips. This has led to provocative questions that jolt many awake, such as, why does Pedro Pascal consistently display overly familiar gestures with female colleagues, even those who are married or engaged? This question, like a stone tossed into a still lake, has stirred a wave of debate, unearthing a flood of past evidence to fuel speculation. Old clips and long-forgotten images once buried in the relentless stream of media are now being brought to light. Video montages accompanied by suggestive captions have surfaced. This isn't the first time. Look at how he interacts with these women. It's clearly questionable. On the delicate line between admiration and skepticism, the biggest controversy surrounding Pedro Pascal erupted like a storm during the 2025 promotional campaign for Fantastic Four. Appearing alongside Vanessa Kirby as the film's leading pair, Pascal was captured in moments by media and fan lenses that sparked intense scrutiny. At this promotional event, Pascal repeatedly displayed overly familiar gestures toward Kirby, a lingering, deliberate touch on her shoulder, a hand lightly grazing her back as they walked, and hand-holding in shared photos that seemed to go beyond the professional camaraderie typically seen among celebrities. These actions, set against the backdrop of Kirby being pregnant and engaged to Paul Mescal, sparked a fierce wave of outrage on X, where the public labeled them as alarmingly tactless. The criticism intensified as online communities with remarkable sharpness and persistence swiftly unearthed past videos to paint a clearer picture of his behavior. What escalated the controversy further were indications that this wasn't the first time Pascal had crossed boundaries. A particularly striking moment came from a 2023 event where Pascal touched the chin of Giada Colagrande, Willem Dafoe's wife, during a conversation. Though brief, lasting only a few seconds. This gesture was seen as unnecessary and overly familiar, especially since Colagrande was not a direct colleague of his. Similarly, a clip from a 2022 red carpet event further fueled perceptions of unusual behavior, showing Pascal embracing his former co-star Sarah Paulson in a hug that lasted longer than what is typically expected. In the video, Paulson appeared visibly tense, attempting to create distance shortly after, a detail fans couldn't overlook. She looked like she wanted to escape that hug, one fan remarked. These moments, when pieced together, formed a pattern of behavior that the public couldn't dismiss, prompting many to assert, "This isn't friendliness. This is a series of problematic actions." Almost instantly, the power of social media, particularly X, turned this controversy into a blazing phenomenon. The hashtag Pedro Pascal Watch quickly became a focal point, amassing a collection of videos, screenshots, and detailed analyses of Pascal's body language and the reactions of those around him. Memes comparing Pascal to James Dokes from Dexter, complete with the iconic line, "Surprise, motherf***, weren't just humorous. They served as a bold warning. We've noticed something off, and we're not letting it slide. These memes, spreading like wildfire, amplified public concern, transforming the issue from scattered online discussions into a full-blown public debate, shaking the polished image of Pascal. Amid the storm of criticism over his behavior, Pedro Pascal and his PR team swiftly raised what seemed like an impenetrable shield, anxiety. According to repeated explanations in interviews and official posts, Pascal has struggled with anxiety since childhood, and his overly familiar gestures, like touching shoulders, holding hands, or prolonged hugs, are his way of seeking comfort, a remedy to soothe an unsettled mind during high-pressure public events. At first glance, this explanation seemed to tug at the audience's heartstrings, evoking sympathy for a star grappling with psychological challenges under the spotlight. However, as cracks in his narrative began to show, the public wasn't so quick to let this excuse sweep the issue under the rug. They soon raised pointed questions. If Pedro Pascal needs physical contact to cope with anxiety, why doesn't he touch Oscar Isaac's shoulder or hold Ewan McGregor's hand during joint appearances? Why is it only Vanessa Kirby, Sarah Paulson, or Giada Colagrande? This question, sharp as an arrow, pierced the credibility of his explanation. Indeed, Pascal's unusual behavior tends to focus solely on prominent, charismatic women who are at the center of public attention. This argument gained traction when fans uncovered promotional videos featuring him and Bella Ramsey, who plays Ellie in The Last of Us.